Never done this before.
Are you ready to start it?
All ready.
Good when you guys are.
Okay, we're going to begin it now. This is the June 15th meeting of the Fall River Traffic Board. Prior to starting the meeting, I'm going to read the open meeting law. Pursuant to the open meeting law, any person may make an audio or video recording of this public meeting or may transmit the meeting through any medium. Attendees are therefore advised that such recordings or transmissions are being made, whether perceived or unperceived, by those present and are deemed acknowledged and permissible. First, I'd like to take roll call attendance, please.
Helen Rigo,
Here.
Natalie Mello,
Here.
Sergeant Dolan,
Here.
and Officer Farris.
Here.
Okay, everybody's present. First item on the agenda is citizen input.
Okay, that's that guy.
Now, is that unrelated to, yeah, it's unrelated to the miscellaneous requests that you have, I believe.
Well, there's a couple of people that were emailing me, and I just told them to come to the
All
meeting.
right.
Not for citizen
Okay.
input, but just to come to the meeting.
I have on the
North
agenda, I
Varley.
have citizen input regarding North Varley Street and Stockton Street. Is anybody here for other citizen input beside those?
I'm here for O'Grady Street.
Stanford
Road.
That's, all right,
Yeah,
that's not,
so you're gonna be, you can talk when he talks about the.
when we have that on the agenda.
Yeah,
Ma'am, you're here for something other than Stockton or North Varley Street?
Yeah, I'm here for Langley Street
Langley Street, okay.
and Nichols.
Langley and Nichols?
That's what she said.
Okay.
and you're here for
You
O'Grady.
want to talk now?
I believe I talked to you upstairs.
Yeah, so you pick, yes.
I'm on bank, but I didn't hear my name called.
We don't call out your name.
No,
So she's
Bank
on the-
Street is
she's on the
a
list.
handicap request.
Yeah, that, we'll call you
This is for
after.
unscheduled citizens that have come here to speak
I'm
to
sorry,
us.
then I-
That's okay.
So I don't know who you want to go first.
We have two unscheduled, well, that
We
one
have
caught my
that.
attention first. Okay, ma'am.
Want to come down here?
This is regarding Langley and Nichols Street.
Yes, they've become traffic hazards. They race down the streets. We would like to have somebody at some point sit on the side streets and ticket them
Which side street?
on Chestnut or Markel.
Chestnut or Markel? And
There's Chestnut Street and there's Markel.
people are racing down there?
Terrible. Basically between 4 and 8, 5 and 7 is the worst.
In the evening?
Yes.
Okay,
Okay, thank you.
you're welcome. You, sir? O'Grady Street?
Yes. Can I give you these?
Sure.
You can see what I'm talking about. There you go. I wanted to address the problem on O'Grady Street that we're having. You can see the one with the sidewalk where it's all busted up.
Yep.
And she can't get her wheelchair over. And this is one of her workers here. Her name's Rebecca. They also can't park on the opposite side of the street, and they don't use that parking lot, or very rarely use that parking lot where the alpaca plant is. And they take that whole street, which is also the opposite side during wintertime, and we can't park there. There's no parking on O'Grady at all in the winter, and people get ticketed or towed.
One of the things that he spoke to me about, so there is a very long curb
Curb cut.
opening, okay? So of course, not all of it is utilized for cars to go in and out.
Yes.
So a lot of the residents try to park here. We get calls from the company and they get tagged, because there is, no curbing. And I'm sure the facility has changed throughout the years, so they don't, use this as much.
It's an alpaca pool plant now. As a matter of fact, they shaved the alpacas in the parking lot. That's the other problem we're having too.
So we had several issues.
Yeah.
One of them, it's really the company that would have to go to city engineer and ask to
Yep,
put
the
some
opposite
curb
of
in
what
there.
we get all the time.
Right.
Actually, this was brought up at the last meeting, when a company leaves, Natalie had mentioned it, whether or not they replaced the curb cuts that they had.
Even houses, when they sell, they divide the
Yeah.
property and the curb from the driveway,
curb cuts
that was
stay.
once a driveway, stays there, which is half on one piece of property, half on the other. So this is exactly the situation
So
here.
at some point in time, this company applied for and was granted the rights by the city to do these curb cuts.
Sarge, I can go back as 1971. That's how long
All
that's
right.
been there.
Yeah, the alpaca plant's only been there recently. Before
Yes.
that was Monroe, and then before that was something else.
But no play on words, apparently it fell between the cracks,
That whole street is a mess. It's a mess.
and
I mean, these are perfect pictures to bring up to city engineer.
Okay.
His name is Mr. Dan Aguirre.
Okay.
He's been with the city for about 3-4 months. And he will probably contact the business itself and talk to them and see if there's something that can be done. I mean, the sidewalk would be, of course, the city. That's something he will let you know. I
Okay.
know that DCM has a sidewalk crew, so especially with her being in a wheelchair, so it might be something that DCM can do this.
I mean, this has to be addressed. That's,
Yeah, that's definitely
And
city.
that was from the 18-wheelers that would drive in and out of that building when the
Yes.
road was there. So they're the ones
Yeah,
that did
it's
the
all-
damage back then.
There's a lot, and one of the poles is recently fallen down. I don't know who to call about that. It's so low that trucks
There's
are
a-
hitting it.
There's a
What
lot
kind
of
of a
the-
pole?
It's a
It's an
telephone
electric pole.
Is
The
it wooden
wires.
or metal?
Wood.
It's wood.
Wood belongs to National Grid, so
Okay.
National Grid would have to be
Like
contacted.
trucks are hitting the wires. That's how it's going to end up being an accident over there. Something electrical.
but the sidewalk, the city definitely has to
Yeah,
address that.
like I said, and Mr. Aguirre will have no problem meeting with you.
Okay.
If you feel that you need to go through the mayor's office, you can do that as well.
Can I just call him here or make an appointment to Mr. Aguirre? Is that the way?
Yep,
That's
he's
fine.
on the 5th floor.
Okay.
And I would show him the pictures, and he probably would have DCM get involved.
Okay.
Like I said, they have a sidewalk crew that do sidewalks
For the
throughout
cracked
city.
sidewalks.
Right.
Replacing the curbing
That
over
would be
here.
Mr. Aguirre.
Yeah,
Would be
that's
Mr.
a
Aguirre.
little more in-depth.
I mean, because there's no place. Like I said, you know the street. In the wintertime, where are we supposed to put? There's 24 units there, and almost everybody has a vehicle. Where are we supposed to park? We're supposed to put 24 cars. He's on Bank Street. He's asking for a handicap for himself. Bank Street's packed. So I have a replaced hip, replaced knee. I can't walk blocks. You know, when her workers come to take her, where are they supposed to go to? You know, we can't go anywhere. I don't even leave my house because I don't want to lose the parking spot I do have.
You want to keep these, you bring these to Dan Aguirre?
Okay. Thank you.
We can't just get word about the sidewalks ourselves, since he doesn't have to do that.
I mean, I can speak to the
DCM.
You wanna
the
keep
DC, the one with the sidewalk, definitely.
Not the curb.
Or you can take a picture of it if you
Oh,
want.
that's true too.
take a
You're so
picture.
smart.
You can keep it.
You sure?
Yeah, I got them all on my phone. In fact, you
Okay.
can keep all, I have them all on the phone.
But if you're going upstairs now, maybe it'd be nice that he's seen
Oh,
it.
he's there?
Yeah,
Yeah.
well,
Okay.
I
Take him with
don't
you.
know, I
15,
don't know
I
if
don't
he's
know.
there. No, he works till 5, but I don't know if he's
he's
out
very
doing
articulate
inspection.
about things
Yeah.
too, from what I see, so.
Okay, yeah, it's 4:15 now.
Yeah, I mean, you could try it.
Try it.
Patty Aguirre is the secretary. If he's not there, leave your name and phone number and kind of a brief
If you got it
little.
on your phone, you can show it to
I'll
him.
show it to him. And he's on the 5th floor, right?
You got it.
Thank you so much. I appreciate your time today.
No problem.
Thank you.
Was there another citizen input that wasn't scheduled?
Well, I wasn't, sir. Yeah, I know we pretty much covered most of it, but.
Okay, this will
I
be
don't know if you
official
need to
on
come up
camera
and give it
now.
on the
Sure.
mic.
And this is regarding speeding and not yielding to pedestrians on Stafford Road.
And generally reckless driving, yes. Like I said, it's not just me. I can bring it, if I had to, I could probably go get the names and numbers of several neighbors that have lost the mirrors off the sides of their vehicles and stuff. My mirror on my truck cost me $85 each time. Okay? And it's been at least 10 times this last year that I've had to replace the mirror on that truck, plus a couple times on the other one I ended up selling to not have it in the way.
Which street, just for the record?
On Stafford Road, in between the Brayton and the firehouse.
Not Warren, it's near Pelham Street.
But he's saying, but she
Now-
said between Warren and.
No, it's not Warren, it's Pelham.
The fire station's on.
The only
Warren.
thing.
There's a fire, here, Rodriguez Insurance is diagonally across the street from where I live.
Yep.
Okay, there.
The only thing with Stafford Road, as you well know, is not complete. So they're doing a couple of things.
It's not just because
Well,
they're
the striping,
curving,
I
they're
understand.
swerving around the manhole covers
Right.
and
No,
nothing.
no.
They're
But
not
what I'm
that bad
saying
there.
is, there's no striping. So of course, it's gonna make it a little difficult. There's no striping on Stafford Road
That
whatsoever.
area he's talking about is just a narrow,
A big part of the
Very
problem
narrow
is
area.
lack of depth perception. Do these people actually pass real driver's tests? You know, but, I know you can't do nothing about that.
Well, also next to
But-
Holy Trinity too, it's a really
yeah, but
narrow.
what his area he's talking about, I understand where he's.
Okay.
Near the bakery.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
just before the bakery,
What's
as
your
if you're going
recommendation?
down towards Brayton.
What do you recommend?
I'd like to see either an occasional police presence, maybe sitting at the church, or I could probably get my landlady to let you sit in the driveway to get people to slow down a little for, you know?
Speeding is the issue.
The biggest issue is people going too fast and suddenly having to swerve because somebody didn't give them enough room. You know, that's what I see most often.
It's 25 there, right?
Yep.
Yeah, no, they're hitting 60, 70.
60, 70.
I've seen 60 and 70, no problem. Frequently 50.
I don't doubt you.
But,
Okay.
and then, again, like I said about the whole dirt bike
Yes.
thing and the noise level, I just put some baffles in them things, and even then I wouldn't care.
Right. Thank you.
Granted, I'm a little jealous of when I was young and I would have gotten in trouble for riding that down the road.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, now the scheduled citizen input, which is, Renaud Street at Stockton.
Oh,
Somebody here for Renaud and Stockton Street? All right,
what is
then-
that for a stop sign?
yeah, they're asking for four-way stop signs at Renaud and Stockton Street. I only have like the tail end of some emails apparently that they sent to the traffic board, traffic department.
You know it already has stop signs, doesn't it?
Renaud already has a stop sign, but
North and south.
this person is requesting with that Stockton Street also get a stop sign, so that it becomes a four-way stop sign intersection.
East and west.
Well, usually if they're going to send an email, I ask them to be very specific as to why, name, address, phone number. But we need to know, why do you feel that you need a stop sign?
Right,
Is
right.
it, too many kids in the neighborhood, cars speeding?
Right.
Has there been a lot of accidents, any pedestrian? I always tell them that. I mean, I can't do the email for them, so.
Why not?
In the email, I know they said there was, again, it's not very in-depth, but it says, we have corresponded on this subject once already, however, I'd like to bring it up again. Last year, both my neighbor and I had property damage due to two separate accidents. There was also an accident where the road was blocked. Is there any way we can revisit making the intersection a four-way stop?
Well, I think we should table and have them come in person.
Well, I think it's been pretty clear my thoughts on creating four-way stop signs all over the city.
Yeah.
No
Yeah.
matter
I
what,
brought
people
it
are
up
going
many
through
times.
You're
them.
gonna do them anyway.
And people get resentful of four-way stop signs, and then
Correct.
you expect them to stop, and then every once in a while, you're gonna have a motorist that doesn't stop, and it creates more of a dangerous situation
A
than.
lot of these people are out of control, Sarge. Sorry to say, they're driving and they're not caring what's gonna happen.
So,
True.
they're free to come back, they're free to come here and bring it up again in person if they wanna argue their point. But I'm gonna make a motion that we leave Renaud and Stockton as is.
And I second that.
Helen seconds it. Is anyone opposed to leaving Renaud and Stockton as is? Okay, Madam Clerk, can you do roll call, please?
Okay, so we're not gonna look at this later on, we're just gonna,
I made a decision now, and then if this person doesn't like it, whoever this is, they can always petition again and
Okay.
come in person and argue their point.
okay.
So,
Roll call. Right?
The motion has been made to leave the intersection as is.
Helen,
Yes.
Natalie,
Yes.
Sergeant Dolan,
Yes.
and Officer Pappas.
Yes.
Okay, Stockton and Renaud will remain as is. I jumped to that one. Creative class at 64 Durfee Street.
Hello.
Hi, everyone.
Aye.
My name's Deanne Ramos. I'm the property manager at Creative Class, and we're looking to have a loading zone painted behind the building so that a trash compactor can easily be dumped. So the street is very narrow
Green
right
is
now.
Green Street.
Yep,
And-
on the back of the building.
Right.
Yes.
And then they don't want it on the east side. It has to be on the west side. I went down there, and what's happening is, and correct me if I'm, when they turn onto Green Street, to make the turn to
From
pick up.
Central?
Right, to pick up whatever container is there, because there are cars parked on the west side, it cannot make the turn and they leave. So that's happened a few times.
Yes.
And they try to come back when there's no cars there. So we're talking about 25, 30 feet.
They actually said 50 feet. They said 50 feet, yes.
60 on each side?
50. no,
50
it would
on
be-
one
It would be
side.
no parking between signs.
Is there a lot on that west side of that building?
There is, but it's so small that they have to maneuver the truck to go into it because it's not
Right.
a very wide parking lot that they can go right in. It's a very small where, I mean, it's not a dumpster, there's a name for that.
Yes, a compactor.
Thank you.
Trash
Right.
compactor.
The-
Right
They're not
now.
able to back from Central onto Green Street?
No,
No.
no.
And the people that park there are usually visitors for Heritage Heights that don't have a sticker
Yes.
to park in the parking lot. Other than that, there would be nobody parked there.
You need like a loading zone then,
Right.
50 feet of loading zone.
Well, there's a couple of things we can do. We can do no parking here to corner. It would have to go into ordinance because it's gonna be more than 30 feet.
Right.
So that's one option that we can take. So that way, when the truck turns, that whole footage, there won't be any vehicles. He
Right.
can make that turn, get out, and like, that's one option we can do. We can do no parking between signs, which I think that's my opinion. Usually loading zones would have to go in front of the business because you're parking in between the signs. In this case, you're not. You just don't want any parking on that side so that the truck can come in and out with, when emptying the,
Is that a temporary thing?
No, it'd be permanent.
So that's
we
forever.
just recently opened, yes, we're an apartment complex.
that's the old,
That's where they're gonna
Right,
throw
yeah,
their
no, I
trash
can
and-
remember counting the bricks on the building years ago. Spent a
Need
lot
to
of
know
time,
that.
spent a lot of time down there. That's
How
why I
many
asked about
times-
the west side of the building, it seems like a pretty open area.
How many times a week or a
It
month?
would be at least twice a week that we
Twice a
need,
week.
yep. So right now, we have to have a temporary dumpster in a parking lot on Durfee and Elm because they can't access that compactor in the back of the building.
and is it like, is it every Monday and Thursday, or is it
Yes,
different?
we will have scheduled days.
Well, that's another thought
I
that we
wouldn't,
can
I
have.
wouldn't do, I would just leave it, make it a loading zone. I mean, no parking between signs, period.
Okay.
Right, because
Because
then
if
you're
there's a
dealing,
holiday and they
yeah,
don't pick up,
They
that's
come
true
Okay.
too.
Tuesday.
Yeah,
so you need a total of 50 feet?
Yes.
And that still has to go into ordinance, even if we just do no parking between signs and it happens to be more than 50 feet?
no, what's gonna go into ordinance is just parking prohibited, no measurements. So when you do no parking between signs, it's just, no parking anytime. Now, if you're gonna do no parking here to corner, then yes, I would need the
All
footage
right.
from the
Then
corner to
let's do
that
the
sign.
between signs and make the signs be 50 feet apart. Well, I make a motion to put two signs up 50 feet apart, no parking between signs, so that they can have access to the trash compactor in the back of the building.
I think my only other question would be, will this impact anybody down there? That's my question.
I mean,
And
it
can they
will.
have an opportunity to say, hey, wait a minute, I parked my car there, there's no other place for me to park?
It's
I-
not residents that park there.
Right, no, I know.
It's transient parking, so they'll have to park in it. I mean, 50 feet is 2.5 cars.
Yeah. Now, let me ask you a question. So the 50 feet, you want it directly across from where you have the?
Yes.
Okay. So they might be able to park when you turn on Central, well, it would be the other way. So they might be able to fit a car there. So I can do it in a way where they can fit a car there and then fit more vehicles after. So they would lose 2.5 spots.
Okay.
Well, I mean, if it's 2.5 spots, I think that's reasonable. It's my thing is.
Yeah, like I said, it's
does-
transient,
does
so
it- Yeah,
it's-
no, I know. Well, most of the people park there, I don't think you can't park on Central. So, if it doesn't affect anybody and it's not a problem, then you gotta do what you gotta do.
Gotta take the trash out.
Trash has to go out.
Yes.
Okay, so my motion is no parking between signs. Have the signs 50 feet apart. Does anyone care to second that motion?
Second.
Ellen seconds. Anyone opposed to that motion? Madam Clerk, can you do roll call, please?
Helen Rigo,
Yes.
Natalie Mello.
Yes.
Sergeant Dolan.
Yes.
And Officer Farris.
Yes.
Okay, we'll do the no parking zone.
You don't mind if I just let her know how long it's gonna take, and then that way you can do the HPs when you begin the HPs?
Yeah, that's fine, but secondly, they're asking about, that's a traffic department thing, they're asking about removing parking meters and putting a
That's already
kiosk.
been
That's
done.
been done.
Yes.
Here it is.
That's already done.
That's,
I see someone use it over the weekend, so I was
Yes.
really happy to see that.
Yes,
So,
it looks great.
now, because this is not an emergency, so it has to go in, you're gonna see my guys go down there and do the measurements. The measurements, well, the measurements from the corner to the first pole, and then the 50 feet. And then what'll happen is it has to go to council, refer to ordinance, back to council. So you're talking about a good 6 weeks.
6 weeks? Okay.
Yeah, okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
Thank you, everyone. I appreciate it.
yep. Have a good night.
Next is a request for changing
So many over here.
the traffic pattern on North Varley Street.
I have last month's, yeah. I think that's yours.
Oh, that's, yeah. Sorry, that's gonna strike that.
Right. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I start?
Yep.
Go
Your name
for
and
it.
address. I need your name and address.
My name and address, Brendan O'Neill, 274 Weedamo Street in the city. This request was made with my own blatant self-interest at heart, but there are some side benefits I believe would happen. I actually lease the kitchen at the Don Carlos Club, which is sandwiched between North Varley and Plain. Both of those streets are one-way running north. The what?
Oh, I see what you're saying. Sorry for that.
So I started leasing that kitchen in October, and the biggest complaint that I've gotten through feedback on our Facebook page, it's called the Italian Kitchen at the Don Carlos Club. It's pretty tasty, if you don't want to, not to advertise on public time here. The biggest complaint I've gotten is the difficulty getting to the location. Having to go either Quarry to Pine, up North Varley, Quarry to Pine, up Plain, trying to find parking, etc. I was told by, I believe, accurate sources that about 8 to 9 years ago, North Varley was a two-way street. I do not know what prompted the change. Folks at the Don Carlos Club, other members, they were sent a letter about that same time in regard to the change, and none of them responded, unfortunately. They are, I believe, there's some other gentlemen from the club here that are supporting this motion or this attempt to get it back to a two-way street. Couple of other points I would like to make. Depending on time of day, the majority of the dog park users, which is wonderful having a dog park, 4 o'clock, 3:30, 4 to 5, they park right on Locust Street, usually facing east, which is pretty challenging for traffic to flow there. I believe, without any significant hard information, that it would allow them to probably park facing south on North Varley if this change was made. I think that could be helpful, at least for traffic flow on Locust going east-west. I was told by what I believe is a reliable source that a gentleman who owns Camara's Construction, which has a construction yard on North Varley. I believe he may have sent an email or two or had his people do that. I can't confirm that, I do not know. But I was told he was in support of this because his loaders, his excavators on trailers have to go either Davis to Pine and up North Varley or Quarry to Pine. So he's actually going, I'm not trying to sell it too hard here, but he's actually going through neighborhoods in order to get his trucks due to the one-way. And occasionally I've seen with my own eyes, don't know the driver, but they will scoot down the one-way, the opposite way to get into the yard at the end of the day. I think that's all I have for this request.
Couldn't have said any better because it's the truth.
Yeah.
Here's the issue.
Yeah.
Be careful what you wish for.
Yes.
North Farley Street is such a narrow street that if we were to allow it to become a two-way, we could not allow parking on both sides of the street as it is now.
Okay.
So that would create an issue again.
Okay.
So the businesses that use North Farley Street lose out on the parking on one side or the other.
Okay.
I think, I don't ever remember it being a two-way.
Actually, I grew up on Bali, and I never remember it being a one-way. And I can't even tell you when they turned it into a
Well, I
one-way.
can. It used to be the other way. It was turned into a one-way, I don't know how long ago, but it was the other way.
South.
And, right.
Yep.
And then when issues came up, letters did go out to everyone. They wanted a two-way, and the same thing came up. What happens is, especially from Pine, you will not be able to get a truck if you I've gone by there when there's parties, and you can't even get a car through because they're parked on both sides, hanging out of the corners. So you're gonna encounter that when it becomes a two-way, where you're not gonna be able to pass two cars.
Gotcha.
Especially if you have a
Or we have to
function.
stop parking on one side of the street, which
Right,
defeats
but they didn't wanna
any
do that.
benefit they
That's
could
why
have.
they continued with the one-way, but it was reversed, because they needed the parking. That's
Can I-
my safety issue as well.
Can I say something? Going with my whole husband's side of the family, all the Sardinas, the Mellows, the Soars, been part of that club for years, both clubs. And the only reason why that changed to one-way street is because that red house on the corner, those people that owned the condo came and complained in front of us. Because the cars with the dogs were taking advantage and parking in the driveway, and I understand by them being upset, okay? I get it, you shouldn't be parking in anybody's driveway. But as long as I can remember, that was always a two-way street, and you can't fit one car. You can't have two cars passing like you said, Sarge, but you can have one car come down when you're at both sides of the street, packed
Yeah,
with
one
cars.
car will fit. That's
One
how-
can't, but
right
that's
now-
it.
But you can't
One
make
car.
it, but if you make it a two-way.
You
No,
have to
if
remove parking on one side of the street.
If I'm heading, north and you've got someone heading south and you get to the middle and you can't get through.
Sure.
That's the concern that will occur, especially towards the bottom
what's the width
of
of the
North
street?
Valley as you get closer to
I didn't
Pine.
measure it. It's
Okay.
narrow. It's
Yeah.
not.
I don't doubt you.
May I ask a question?
Sure.
What does the board think about making it a one-way south and having parking on both sides? As it is now, it's a one-way north. In addition, same to,
Kill the band club, though.
you what?
Kill the band club that way.
Well, you got one-way north on, what's that?
The next one down is, strangely, they're both one-way.
Right, that is strange.
I could say
Because when he
something.
said that,
Hold on,
Here's
hold
my
on.
problem. Here's my problem. What were the circumstances creating that the board, I wasn't here for that change, who are we to reverse, what's changed? Who are we to reverse that
Those
decision
people
that
no
was made?
longer live there. The same thing with the curb cuts and all that.
And
And
there's
they
no
were very,
parking.
what
they were,
was the concern?
well, no, the people were using their driveways, which they
Right,
should have.
but they haven't been doing that.
Because now they're,
But there must have been some,
Well, if it's a driveway, it's a driveway issue, it's not the street issue. I mean,
Well-
Yeah, but there was other issues. I
That
have
was
to.
the
change
only
it, change it
issue.
one way to,
Yeah,
just because.
there was
it-
other issues as well, and I think,
Right.
I don't know if it was because of the traffic down at the bottom of North Valley at Pine, that was a big
Right,
issue.
right.
my guess
It
is
was
that this pattern here is beneficial to the people leaving the Fonseca school. Because now they've got two north exits out of that school area.
Well,
at the end of school.
that was also highlighted on some of our emails also.
I'm sorry, sir, you're saying the current
I'm trying to guess
flow-
why the previous traffic board
Made it
changed
I
it
was here.
They did the
northbound.
same thing on 17th and
I
18th
know.
around there, where they put
Would you hear?
two streets going the same way, so you
Right.
gotta go an extra block.
That's the only thing that's peculiar to me is why they make them both north.
If I could, not rudely, but disagree with your assessment of the benefit to the Fonseca School.
I'm guessing why they chose to make it north.
Oh,
No, he's
okay.
I
guessing
wasn't
from
here.
years ago, not right
Oh,
now.
I say, okay, all right, all right.
Biggest
would have been a
issue
small
also,
school.
like you were saying before, Locust Street at 4 or 5 o'clock is just waiting for somebody to get hit by a car, because they,
Oh, I've seen
they
it.
Oh, it
hammer
happens.
down that street.
They're not waiting, it happens.
It would be beneficial. The other thing is, you were saying with the two-way pattern, multiple streets in the are two-way pattern, and you have to wait to let the other car go. I live on Doherty, and Doherty is that way. There's no way.
I think Dory though, sir, is a little wider than
It
North
is, it
Valley.
is.
And you
I don't know
you
the
have
exact
traffic that
measurement.
They're gonna have.
I would go by a measurement. I mean, if it's 3 cars, right?
And
Figure
you're
cars
correct.
about what?
Yeah, and you're correct, but,
6 feet.
I mean, I go to that
8 feet,
area a
8 feet,
lot,
we'll give it the most,
and I
24
know on
feet. If the
weekends,
street's
it's
24
packed
feet,
with
that's
cars. So
If anything,
you
it's
also
gotta be
have to
tabled
think
at
of
the
the
minimum.
safety
You
as
gotta
people
look
are
at
getting in the cars to go to Don
I just-
Carlos Club, and
don't
somebody's
disagree.
coming
I
up,
don't-
and somebody's
I
coming
don't
down.
s-
You don't want anyone to get hurt
Yeah,
either.
well, who
We
will
do
we
have
reverse
streets
a
that are
previous
narrow,
decision
but the
otherwise?
volume of traffic is not
Okay, we
as
need more info.
high as like North Valley. So you don't, you can wait for one car to go. Pierce Street is a perfect example. I have to pull over for a car to go by so I can go by, but that's like once in a blue moon because you don't have that constant traffic.
Measurements, make some notes.
At North Valley, you have the Fonseca School that people cut through there. You know, people that go and have functions there, they cut, so your volume of traffic on North Valley is quite a bit.
So maybe like, was that what you were saying, Sarge? One side of the street parking and one not, but half two-way?
That's gonna ruin it for whatever the businesses that want this to change are gonna lose half of the parking available on the street if we do that.
Right.
Can we reverse it to go south? But you'd have to notify all the neighbors, right?
Well, they're here.
There's only one, I think there's only one.
Here.
I don't even know if there's a house on that street anymore. On
One
North.
side of the street is basically businesses, Don
Right.
Carlos, St. Anthony, and then JC's.
Right.
And you have the house. There's limited parking on the left side as it is.
Right.
On the west side, yeah.
So one side, what are we really losing?
Nothing.
6, 8 spots?
How would we
Yeah.
even find
That's it.
what became of the meeting that caused this to change direction?
Gotta be somewhere. It's somewhere.
I'll be quiet.
Do you think all the other
I
businesses
was
want
in
to
a
go on the
film
opposite way?
Yep, it was.
The only
And it
businesses
I
on
was,
the road
it
are
was
Van
that
Carlos,
red
I
car.
can
Don Carlos
have-
and
I can
JC's.
see if they can
And
bring
I know
up the
JC's,
footage.
Don Carlos and the van club. No one's here from
I'd have to get the
JC's and the
exact
van club,
date.
but we spoke
I
to
just
all
think
of
we
them.
need some
They
more
were all for it.
information.
St. Anthony's van club is right on the corner. I can tell you right now, they're going both ways, but they're going a matter of 10 feet.
Right.
It's nothing. So St. Anthony's really, I don't think has a say. But, like you said, party-wise, maybe.
I'm reluctant to change it.
Would you, I'm sorry, may I say something?
Yeah.
Would you allow us to collect more information, actually take measurements and photos, and then come back in a month and 5 weeks or
We'll do
something?
you one better. We'll take measurements and photos.
As can you,
Okay,
because more is better.
okay.
Stop by the Don when you're done.
All right. Well, we'll be working still.
I mean,
Bring your wife to the
I'll
Italian
try
kitchen.
to find the footage, but I don't
I mean, you
even
can
know
try to
what-
find it. My suggestion would be,
It was.
go out there and take some measurements.
I don't know.
Let's
I
see
know
how
that-
wide that street is.
The
Okay.
problem
Right?
was,
Yeah,
Sarge,
sure.
And let's see if it's
It
feasible. I
wasn't
mean,
because
I
of the
understand,
dog.
I understand, we completely
because of the
understand
parking
what
in
you
the
want to
driveway.
do.
Yep.
It's a matter of trying to make everybody happy,
Yep.
with the least amount of
The mayor.
impact.
Was it
Sure.
clear?
Come back next month.
Table,
Probably.
that,
It was
that's gonna be
about
my,
7 years
that would be
ago.
my suggestions, table it. I can
It
go out
could've
there
been
tomorrow
20 years.
morning. I have a little bit of time to go out and
And like
take
you
some
said,
measurements,
it was
as I
right.
would
Nobody
encourage you as
came
well.
because-
Fabulous.
That way, if I
Nobody
miss
goes,
anything,
you know.
we can, or you can take my email, we can share it with the board.
I
and
know.
Super, okay,
We can try to
Tom's
put
gonna
something
take
together
measurements.
that'll be feasible, if it's okay with the rest of the board.
absolutely,
That would
love
be
it.
my suggestion.
Okay, super.
I would also get your
When
businesses
it's all done,
in writing,
I
telling
could
them they
see
approved
reversing
it.
the direction,
You
but
know
I
what
don't
mean?
wanna be
And then when it goes
arbitrarily
before the
reversing the
board,
direction of
the
every street in the
ordinance.
city, because
You got
people
that.
say, "Oh, we changed
Very
our
good.
mind, we
Right,
wanna do
right.
this." So, I make a motion that we table this for the next meeting.
No, second it.
I was gonna explain why first.
You gonna explain me why?
So that we can get some measurements and do a little study, and the applicant can also do it. Maybe get some more of the businesses on board. They don't have to come here.
Okay.
Maybe have them type a little something, why
Absolutely.
they feel it should, I won't make it a two-way street.
Okay, fair enough,
I'll entertain reversing the direction.
fair enough.
And maybe Laura can figure out why they changed it in the first place. I just, kind of,
Okay.
The
if
sergeant dots his
what if it-
i's and crosses his t's.
what if in
Appreciate that.
5 years somebody says, hey, can we make that, northbound again?
Gotcha.
And Sarge, that's exactly what I said when that happened, that was gonna go
You said,
back.
I know he's gonna do that.
Yes.
Yep, yep,
All
yep.
right, so my motion is that we table it till next month so we can do some more research.
Second.
Who seconded it?
Helen.
Helen.
She's got it, yeah.
Anyone opposed to tabling it until next month?
And if
Madam
I may,
Clerk, could you roll
speaking
call,
of
please?
table, sorry, go ahead. I didn't mean to jump in there. Lots of open tables at the
That's it.
Italian
It's
kitchen
not
at the
changing
Don Carlos Club.
Come in for dinner.
Is there any liquor?
Plenty.
Oh, more than you can carry. Am I dismissed?
Roll call, yes.
Can you do roll call on the tabling?
Helen,
Yes.
Natalie?
Yes.
Sergeant Dolan?
Yes,
And
table.
Officer Farris?
Yes, table.
Okay, that's tabled until next month.
And hope and pray that I can find the film.
Not a problem. How do we find out when the exact date
She'll
is?
send you a letter.
We have all your emails, so I'll use those emails to you, and then you can pass the word around.
Very good. Thank you so much.
Thank
Sure.
you.
Anyone would like to hire us to do your bidding?
Do we have her?
No, we don't.
Oh, awesome. I'm very surprised that we
Okay.
don't.
Next on the agenda are the approval of the minutes from the previous meeting. I make a motion that we approve the minutes of the previous meeting.
Second.
Officer Farris seconds. Anyone opposed to approving the minutes? Madam Clerk, can you do roll call, please?
Helen Rigo,
Yes.
Natalie Mello.
Yes.
Sergeant Dolan.
Yes.
And Officer Farris.
Yes.
Okay, the meeting minutes have been approved. Now we're moving on to
I don't know what you
handicap applications.
Okay.
There's nobody else here for citizen input, correct?
How about the Pontica School? You forgot that one? Pontica School?
That's pertaining to North Raleigh
That's
Street.
North Raleigh.
That's the North Valley? Okay.
Okay, the first one is 220 Johnson Street, Apartment 1B. 220 Johnson Street. I make a motion that we table
Let
that.
me find it.
Oh, hold on a minute, that might have already been tabled.
Yeah,
Yep.
I thought we tabled it last time, no?
Wait a minute.
Yeah, that was tabled last meeting.
Yep, so I make a motion that we deny this application.
Second.
Parties are not present. Helen seconds it. Anyone opposed to denying 220 Johnson Street? Madam Clerk, can you do roll call, please?
Sure. Helen Rigo,
Yes.
Natalie Mello.
Yes.
Sergeant Dolan.
Deny it.
And Officer Farris.
Yes, denied, please.
Okay, 220 Johnson Street is denied. Next is 109 Robeson Street. That was also tabled. Parties are not present. 109 Robeson. Make a motion that we deny the application for 109 Robeson. Anyone second?
Motion to deny.
Natalie seconds it. Anyone opposed to denying it? Madam Clerk, can you do roll call, please?
Helen Rigo,
Yes.
Natalie Mello,
Yes.
Sergeant Dolan,
Deny?
and Officer Farris.
Yes, denied.
Okay, 109 Robeson Street is denied. Parties didn't show up twice. Next is 85 Sunset Hill. 85 Sunset Hill.
This is another one that came up last month.
Yeah, it's also, I just have to ask
Yeah.
I think
twice.
she put the denials first.
Well, yeah, these are all the tabled ones.
Yep.
Okay, 85 Robeson is not present. I make a motion, I'm sorry, 85 Sunset Hill is not present. I make a motion that we deny that application.
Denied.
Helen seconds it. Anyone opposed to denying it? Madam Clerk, can you do roll call, please?
Helen Rigo,
Yes.
Natalie Mello,
Yes.
Sergeant Dolan, and
Deny it.
Officer Farris.
Denied.
Okay, 85 Sunset Hill is denied. Parties didn't show up twice. The last tabled one is 26 Pear Street. Parties present. On the application, they're a homeowner with a driveway. And in the application, the driveway is very narrow. Like, party cannot maneuver the wheelchair. This is the second application we've had from Pear Street. It's a quiet street. I'm sorry?
It's a dead
Dead
end.
end street, yes. I've never approved an application for somebody that has a driveway.
I'm gonna change what I wanna make. There's something else that I applied with the registry of a regular car, but now it has like a van with a customized van. It makes it, it makes it even more difficult because the van has a ramp.
The
and
ramp that comes
everything.
out the side?
Have a picture, you wanna see it?
No, I know what they look like. You've got the
Yeah.
ramp that comes out the side of the van?
Yes.
The issue I have is that, especially because Pear Street's such a quiet street, why can't you park your van in front of your house to load and unload your son?
The thing is, it's been going on for a little while. You expect that the neighbors see it, like, they'll be considerate, but it's not happening. Like, it's like when he's not there, like somebody else got, like, there's no way you can put that van in the driveway. So that's why it's been going on for years. I never actually
You're
even
saying
tried
double
because,
park down the driveway.
Right.
Yeah.
Your van probably fits in the driveway. You just can't load and
No,
unload
no,
your
no,
son?
the
Your
van is
van
like-
doesn't even fit?
No, the van is like way too big.
think
The
it's
regular
big.
car would fit, but now that the van can't really fit in the driveway.
Because what about pulling your van in front of your driveway so that you can bring your son onto the ramp?
The thing is, it's a very permanent situation. It's not like it's gonna get better.
I understand
So
that.
we're just trying to find like a way to make, it's like living situation like better. Like, because there's always maneuver. Like, there's cars, there's an ambulance, there's always something going on over there because he's a kid with a very serious health condition. So we just want the city to help us do it permanently. Because there's no way people are understanding of the situation. Sometimes you have a van, there's a car in front of the driveway. People park like 2 cars in front of the home.
Are people
and then-
blocking your driveway?
Not in front of the driveway, it's out. Sometimes I feel like I need to call the police because somebody's parked right in front of the driveway, and it's makes it when you have to maneuver to go get in the driveway. So how am I gonna be able to put a van in front of the house? It's very, very. I hope you guys know.
Is the van your van?
Yeah.
So that's the van that you use to transport him,
Yes.
not the Volkswagen?
The Volkswagen was just my regular car. The van was actually a non-profit donate the van to him.
So they use a nonprofit to pick him up?
No. It's
It belongs
now
to her.
ours.
It's hers now.
It's a
It's your
donation.
vehicle, not the
No.
VW?
No, the VW was what I was using before until they donate the van for him.
So the van is registered to
The
you?
van is registered
And that's
to
your
me.
primary vehicle that you
Yes.
use to transport your
Yeah,
son?
for him, for his
Okay,
transportation.
understood.
Yeah, it's
All right.
Just we've approved it, he's in a wheelchair, so I think you need to put that into consideration. I think all of you need to put into consideration the wheelchair, the difficulty. So if anyone comes back and says, well, you approved it, but we have proof that.
Right, the other circumstance is that I've seen that driveway.
I know,
It's
it is
tight.
narrow.
It's a tight street too. The only thing you have across the street from that is a very large garage area to the east. I mean, it's somebody else's property. Just one deal. Different circumstance.
I have to hear from my.
I mean, it's a different circumstance. If the van is registered to her, and that's the primary vehicle,
It's a dead
you
end
know,
street.
a dead-end street.
I think this is a unique enough situation that
Sometimes you just have to pick
it
the.
doesn't fit the mold of my usual. There is no way to widen the driveway because it's actually stuck between 2 houses. It's not like they have a berm of land that they can move and widen the driveway. All right, I'll make a motion that we approve handicap parking in front of the house at 26 Pear Street.
Motion to approve.
Natalie seconds it. Anyone opposed to allowing parking in front?
As long as there a way for her
Okay.
to block the driveway.
I'm sorry?
We're gonna approve the sign, that she can block the driveway. Says that nobody can, you know what, they'll back in her
No,
driveway.
she won't have to block her driveway. She's gonna have a handicap parking space in front of her house too. There'll be plenty of room now for the van.
Well, she don't have to park her car in the yard, she can't park it in the yard.
It doesn't fit in the yard,
It doesn't.
because it's got the side door ramp.
That's what's up.
Okay, Madam Clerk, can you do roll call then for 26 Pear Street?
Helen Rego,
Yes.
Natalie Mello.
Yes.
Sergeant Dolan,
Yes.
and Officer Farris.
Yes.
Okay, that's been approved, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Now, this goes for anybody that's applying for a handicap parking space. We get calls a lot of times from people, you won't probably have this situation where you live near a variety store or a restaurant. If somebody has a handicap placard, they are entitled to park in that spot if they happen to see it open. It's rare that it happens, but the police department gets calls from people that says, hey, there's an Oldsmobile in my handicap spot, and they have a proper placard. They're not breaking the law by doing that. Unfortunately, you're just gonna have to wait till they leave, and then you can park in that spot again. So if that happens, you don't have to call the police department. They're not breaking the law by doing that. And now Ms. Ferrera is gonna explain to you the timeline of having the handicap installed.
So basically, the traffic department is your first step, so once it's approved here, what'll happen is you're gonna see the maintenance crew from the traffic department do the measurements. That goes into city council, referred to ordinance, and then it's done as an emergency preempt, because handicap is something that they want to get up there pretty fast. So you're looking at maybe 4 to 6 weeks.
Okay, you're all set,
Do you
ma'am.
need a new registry for the van or?
He really has a step.
Is it under your name?
Yeah, the registry? No, it's not under my name, not yet. I have to
Are
change
you,
it.
yeah, when you do, then just,
Bring it? Okay.
you can email it to us or bring it to us, okay?
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay, next on the list is 73 18th Street. Gentleman over here. Okay, another unique situation. The applicant doesn't drive. This gentleman is the caregiver and picks her up. Are they the
And he-
homeowner as well? This
he
was
does
from
live
2
with
months
her.
ago.
He does live with her.
Mhm.
His license is the same address, so this would be almost like a husband and wife situation.
Are you the homeowner or the tenant?
No, my mother-in-law is. She's the homeowner.
So she owns the house?
Correct.
As well. So my notes, the applicant doesn't drive. The caregiver can park the vehicle in front of the driveway to load and unload the applicant. So I make a recommendation that we deny this application.
I'll second.
And coincidentally, this is near 17th Street.
Yeah, it's the 17th Street
Side
side
of
of
18th Street.
73 18th Street.
So as you just heard me explain to that woman, if you're the homeowner and you have a driveway, I do not, as a rule, approve the applications for handicap parking in front of your house. So based on that, and with you being the driver, sir, you can drive the vehicle to the back of the house, the front of the house, wherever, and pick your mother-in-law up there.
Well, there's a little more to the scenario than just that. She does have dementia, and she also has Parkinson's. So if I leave her alone to take a little stroll down the street, wherever I conveniently find a spot that's available to park, on grand occasion, she'll go for a little stroll, and she'll be walking down the street on me. So she has 24-hour care, because she's never left alone. And I'm there by myself. My wife goes to work in the morning, so, I mean, I could do it. I'd have to be quick. and I do move the vehicle during the evening or the night. If I don't get a spot, I wait for something to open, and then I run out and go get my van and pull it over and pull it into the new spot. I mean, realistically, it's a huge pain in the neck. And it would be a hell of a lot easier to be able to just walk her right out, put her right in the van. I bring her to Cornerstone 5 days a week, and then I bring her all the way out to Bristol on a Saturday for adult daycare. But that's just from 8:30, when as quick as I can get her ready, and then I pick her up at 2:30 in the afternoon. So it gives me a little bit of break to get some other stuff done, but
I'm
it's...
not
it's a lot.
unsympathetic toward that,
Yeah,
but I've always been, if you own the house, and in this case she doesn't drive, I say to deny it. However, this is a traffic board and there are other members here. It doesn't have to be unanimous.
I have to support Sergeant because this is what we do.
yeah, I mean, it's not, it probably is gonna make my life easier than hers, but,
Right.
I mean, you know.
We get it.
I could use a break. I mean,
You know?
it's more than I ever signed up for, I can tell you that. So, you know, being able to park out front would make my life a hell of a lot easier.
And I understand that, it's just that, where do I draw the line when the next person comes in and has another unique situation? That woman's the first time I've ever approved one that has a driveway, and we went by the house
Yeah,
and
but
that
she's
van
got that
actually
big-
doesn't fit
right.
because there are houses there.
Right,
And we know we're gonna get flack on that, we know.
yeah.
So anyway, I'm gonna stick to my motion to deny. However, the board members are free to vote the way they want.
Second.
Helen seconds my motion to deny. Does anyone wish to approve this?
I mean, the other thing that you can do is, 2, 3, 4 months from now, if her condition really worsens, and you're more than welcome to refile again. Whether
Yeah.
the board is gonna say yes or no, but
Sure.
the condition of the individual has changed a while. That's something that has been done before, where people reapply 3, 4, 5 months from now because the condition is so different.
If she was in that condition, I would fight it tooth and nail. She's not there yet, she has good days and bad days, so, things could change. I agree, I respect you
All right.
guys.
The
I'll
motion-
roll with that and we'll go from there.
The motion is to deny. Madam Clerk, can you do roll call, please?
Helen Rigo,
Yes.
Natalie Mello,
Yes.
Sergeant Dolan,
Yes, deny?
Officer Farris.
Yes.
Okay, it's been denied, sir.
Okay, so I can pull up in front of my driveway with my hazard lights on. I
Absolutely.
have to leave my hazard lights on and I
Yeah.
won't get a ticket, right?
No.
We're not heartless.
If I
If
fought
you
one of
do,
those
if you
already.
do, give us a call.
Okay,
If the situation worsens,
yeah,
come back before the board.
all right. You
Fair
guys are
enough.
reasonable.
Thank you.
It's all good. Have a good night.
You too.
Thank you.
Next on the agenda is 387 Sprague Street. 387 Sprague.
Motion to table.
Helen makes a motion to table and I second it. Anyone opposed to tabling it? Madam Clerk, can you do roll call, please?
Helen Rigo,
Yes.
Natalie Mello,
Yes.
Tabling.
Sergeant Dolan,
Tabling.
and Officer Farris.
Table.
Okay, 387 Sprague has been tabled. Next is 411 4th Street. 411 4th. I make a motion to table 411
Second.
4th. Helen seconds before I even finish the sentence.
Nobody wants to leave the house today, it's too hot.
Anyone opposed to tabling 411 4th Street? Madam Clerk, can you do roll call, please?
Helen Rigo,
Yes.
Natalie Mello,
Yes.
Sergeant Dolan,
Yes, table it.
Officer Farris.
Table.
Okay, that's tabled. Next is 530 Bank Street. This is short and sweet. No off-street parking available to the tenant. Difficult parking in that neighborhood. I make a motion to approve the handicap parking for 530 Bank Street.
Second.
Helen seconds it. Anyone opposed to that? Madam Clerk, can you do roll call, please?
Helen Rigo,
Yes.
Natalie Mello,
Yes.
Sergeant Dolan,
Yes?
and Officer Farris.
Yes.
Okay, 530 Bank Street's approved, sir.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. You remember the timeline she explained to you, right?
6 weeks.
Yep. 144 Crawford Street, over here. I wrote the same exact thing. There's no off-street parking available to the tenant. Difficult parking over there. I make a motion that we approve 144 Crawford Street.
Motion to approve.
Natalie seconds it. Anyone opposed to approving 144 Crawford Street? Madam Clerk, can you do roll call, please?
Helen Rigo,
Yes.
Natalie Mello,
Yes.
Sergeant Dolan,
Yes.
Officer Farris.
Yes.
144 Crawford Street is approved. You're all set.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. 394 Buffington Street. Over here. The driveway's for the landlord. The application is actually for the Terrace Street side of the property. And I make a recommendation that we approve, I make a motion that we approve handicap parking for 394 Buffington Street, but on the Terrace Street side of the house.
Second.
Helen seconds it. Anyone opposed? Before I go, so that's correct, right? Terrace Street is where you want them?
That's the doorway.
Very well.
That's how we get in the house.
Okay, Madam Clerk, can you do roll call, please?
Helen Rigo,
Yes.
Natalie Mello,
Yes.
Sergeant Dolan,
Yes?
and Officer Farris.
Yes.
Okay, that's been approved, ma'am. You're all set.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Okay, 656 Mount Hope Avenue. 656 Mount Hope Avenue.
Motion to table it.
Natalie makes a motion to table.
Second?
She doesn't have to say anything.
Gonna second the table.
Officer Farris seconds it.
And
Madam
moving forward.
Clerk, can you do roll call, please?
Jesus.
Helen Rigo,
Yes.
Natalie Mello,
Yes.
Sergeant Dolan,
Yes, table it.
and Officer Farris.
Table.
Okay, 656 Mount Hope Avenue has been tabled. They did not show up at the meeting. Next is 144 Forest Street. Over here.
Not here?
Okay, the registration on your application does not show Forest Street. Have you changed your address with the registry?
Yes, I need to bring it in for you guys, yes.
Okay.
So that's, no, it's not changed.
No, she needs to bring it into Laura. I
Just
thought.
need
show.
to bring it.
You did change it.
Yes, I did, yes.
She just needs to show Laura the change of address. Verifying address, vehicle registration. So you changed your address on your license and your registration?
Yes, I did.
Okay. The driveway is not available to the tenant. I make a motion to approve 144 Forest Street. Anyone second that?
Second.
Helen seconds it. Anyone opposed to it? Madam Clerk, can you do roll call, please?
Helen Rigo,
Yes.
Natalie Mello,
Yes.
Sergeant Dolan,
Yes.
and Officer Farris.
Yes.
144 Forest Street has been approved. Just,
I just have a question.
yes.
I had it last time on my 1856 Pleasant Street.
1856 Pleasant?
Yes, and I had a car parked there for like 2 days, and I called the cops and they didn't do anything.
Was
And
it,
I had to park all the way up the street. and-
was
and
the car,
handicapped.
the
Yes.
car had a handicap placard?
Yes, it did, yes.
Okay.
That's the unique situation I just spoke about. That must be a neighbor with
No,
a,
they came from Boston or something.
oh, like they were visiting or whatever?
They were
They could
visiting.
come
They
from
were-
Las Vegas.
What is it?
If they have a placard on the car, it's
Yeah.
Yes,
valid.
it is, yeah. All right.
If, I mean, there's not enough people here left, but sometimes if you have a neighbor that does keep taking your spot because they have a handicap placard, be nice about it, but explain to them that they too can come here and get a handicap spot in front of their house.
Okay.
If that, it's rare. If that happens again,
Yeah, it was weird, but. it
Okay.
happens. Okay, thank you.
you're welcome. 160 Buffington Street. Over here. Driveway is not available to the tenant. I make a motion that we approve the handicap parking at 160 Buffington Street. Helen seconds it. Anyone opposed? Madam Clerk, can you do roll call, please?
Helen Rigo,
Yes.
Natalie Mello, Sergeant Dolan,
Yes.
and Officer Farris.
Yes.
Okay, 160 Buffington Street is approved. All set.
Thank you.
You're welcome. 26 Oliver Street, right here. The driveway's not available to the tenant. And this is a really good one, you're gonna appreciate this one. The poles are still there from the previous, but the sign's not there. So, I make a motion that we approve handicap parking at 26 Oliver Street. Anyone second that?
Second.
Natalie seconds it. Anyone opposed? Madam Clerk, can you do roll call, please? Sure.
Helen Rego,
Yes.
Natalie Mello,
Yes.
Sergeant Dolan,
Yes.
and Officer Farris.
Yes.
Okay, your parking is approved, and the signs will be up there quite quickly, because that's easy.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Those will be
Good night.
fine.
And that concludes the handicapped. Now we need to rescind some spots. A request from the traffic department to have the following handicap spaces rescinded due to individuals no longer utilizing the space because they have either moved, no longer drive, or have passed away. Grant Street, North 7th Street, Washington Street, Hargrave Street, Garden Street, and Choate Street. I make a motion that we rescind those handicap spots.
Second.
Helen seconds it. Anyone opposed? Madam Clerk, can you do roll call, please?
Helen Rego,
Yes.
Natalie Mello,
Yes.
Sergeant Dolan,
Yes.
and Officer Farris.
Yes.
Okay, those signs shall be rescinded. Any other business that we need to discuss?
Nope.
I make a motion that we adjourn.
Second.
Helen seconds that as well. Anyone opposed?
All I know is freezing in here.
Madam
You're gonna
Clerk, can you do
freeze.
roll call, please?
Helen Rego,
Yes.
Natalie Mello, Sergeant Dolan,
Yes.
and Officer Farris.
Yes.
Okay, this meeting is adjourned.
I have doubles.